I mean, she's great for TV. And you and I said this before, it made it fun again. She said quirky things. She was, just kind of, it was fun to watch.
Well, like when you talk about Hollywood and bigger, like you forget, and then, I mean, you don't forget, but then like, first of all, who can not be on the whole season until like the end? Then have the whole show be about you. Then the way they're pulling up with her in the reunion, it's like, here is coming like the president is descending from above. Like Kathy is, and let me tell you, at BravoCon,
yeah,
like, I don't know if you saw the videos. I mean, Kathy was like, I don't even think Andy was bigger. I mean, people were like, Kath, everywhere she went, Kath. It was literally like she was Madonna and Cher and every sports person you want to throw in there rolled together. She was the biggest thing that's ever happened.
Do you think that the beginning of the season or whenever, and I do think that part of this was like plotted. Like, I think that the show is smart enough. Andy, the people at Evolution, when they see this coming down, and when whomever it was leaking to the press that Kathy had a meltdown, they could have nipped a lot of this stuff in the bud if they wanted to, right? They let enough leak out. And my question is do you think that Rena thought and that Bravo thought that this was going to go the other way, that the audience could have turned on Kathy?
Yeah. I don't know why they would want that. Like you said, when she's so beloved, the only thing I can think of, is that, look, she is a friend of, so that's whatever money. And then, I mean, Kathy's not dumb. And she said, like, wait, I am literally the breakout star of last season. And that's why we haven't seen her the whole thing. She held out. She's like, I will not come back to this show. I'm done. You either pay me or I'm not coming. She doesn't need the money, but she's like, so I don't know what that number is, but I mean, it was well known. Each week they were filming and she's like, well, now you're on episode 5. You still don't have me. Do you want me or not? I mean, the more it went on, I think the more they're like, holy shit, we want Kathy. I mean, could they have just signed her to destroy her? Because then we're not going to be like, our beloved Kathy, how dare you not pay her enough? Because it was out there.
But what about the show that Paris was doing? Wasn't there a conflict, like scheduling, where she was doing that show and she didn't have the time to do it? And
I mean, that's what.
How did that show do, by the way?
Not great. It's not coming back. I watched it. I enjoyed it. Didn't you watch it? I thought you watched part of it. Did you watch it? No. I liked it. I mean, I like Paris and Kathy. I enjoyed it, but I mean, yeah, she said that, but in Paris's wedding, but I don't know. I mean, people are on like 12 different shows. I mean, speaking of Ryan Seacrest, look at him. I mean, you could do a lot of different things at once if you really need to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that I don't know. I don't know for sure, but maybe that was Bravo likes to they want to take you out on a low note. So no one says, where's that person? That's what they did with Dorinda in New York. Like, they want to bring you down and then say, oh, thank God she's gone. She was horrible.
Right.
Maybe because she held out for the money and she held out. So I don't know what she got, but I imagine it was a decent amount, way more than they wanted to pay. Maybe to your point, they did think that. And they're like, we're going to bring her back and then screw this bitch. We don't care who the fuck she is. You ain't going to ask for a lot of money. She served it up on
a platter in Aspen. Right?
I mean, you have to admit, the great thing that we're going to see is you think, right, she's ditzy in the slippers and don't fuck with Kathy Hilton. She comes in, she has her points. She's bringing up. I'm like, I didn't even realize you were aware that Yolanda was on the show. Like, she knows Yolanda, and look what you did to my sister. Like, I don't know if Kim sat her down.
Someone's doing her all of the work for her and telling her, giving it to her. And I'm sure, now she's invested, you know what I mean? And so she wants to turn things over. She may have started and not had a bone to bury, but now she's got Rena in her crosshairs.
Yes and yes. So, right, I think someone's organizing it, but she still comes in delivered. cool as a cucumber, and then she throws on you're the biggest bully in Hollywood and everyone knows this. And then she's starting to say, like, you know, you said yes to this when, like, oh yeah, I agree, take down Kyle. And, you know, I still go back to, look, there's people, I see the argument of like, I'm not going to let your sister get away with it, but still, like, listen, like if I had a huge problem with someone in the world, hypothetically, I would go after them. Now, say, you know, you and I, say it was like your sister, literally, and you were like, listen, David, I would be like, you're right. It's not that I don't have a problem with your sister now, because this happened. I still don't love her, but I would soften it up. You would be like, this is like political situation. That's how the world works, right? Like you would soften it. You would kind of keep it on the DL. You would not go there. That's the argument. That's the argument of like where Garcelle is like, I'm not apparently best friends with Kyle. You are. So what are you doing? This is going to ruin her relationship with her sister. Like, if you don't see that, like, what is your problem? Is your problem so bad that you're willing to do this to your good friend?
But this is another perfect example of the fact that they really are not friends. This is their castmates. They don't hang out in the off season. They're not hanging out with each other. No. Kyle's friends with Teddy. You know what I mean?
And Dorit, I think, right? Little bit.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think, yeah, maybe Maurizio and PK kind of bring that together a little bit more, but I don't know. But I don't know that Rena's hanging out with Erika when they're not filming. I'm sure bonded. What do they really have in common? And in a normal situation, their paths aren't crossing, really. And what if it's all over with? If the show, you know, ends, I can promise you that the majority of them are not getting together. They're not going to lunch. They're not going to dinner. They're not hanging out.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, why doesn't everyone else understand this? Like, I'm not coming
because it supposedly is real. These are, you know, it's like this show sells it like this is real friendships, but no. And that was weird even for me, because I felt like, you know, like, am I like all of a sudden going to be like friends with these people now? No one. They don't hang out. I mean, very few of them hang out.
It's just a job to everybody.
Kyle's different in the aspect where she would say, like, you know, when she'd say, when I saw her the last time, she'd say, when you and Donnie are in town, let's get together, let's go to dinner. And I think she kind of actually forges real friendships with